There is one more feature I want to talk about before going to the basic configuration of an interface and then go to CDP and ARP. That's piping the commands, and I want to show you what it means. I go to privilege mode. I want to do most of my show or other debugging commands in privilege mode, although some of them are available in basic mode, in user mode. But I prefer to be in privilege mode to do most of my commands. So I type sh, and that's enough for distinguishing the show command from other commands. I type show interface, and int is enough for distinguishing interface, of course. Show interface, and I'm going to see fast 00. F is enough for fast interface, fast Ethernet interface, fast 00, and you can see a long list of features that are available in this interface. You can see, for example, we have our hardware type, that is GT96K fast Ethernet. We have the MAC address assigned to this interface and the MAC address that is burned in this interface. These are the same because we haven't changed the MAC address, but the burned in address, that is the MAC address that Cisco has assigned to this interface, is not going to change. It is fixed and we cannot change it, although we can change the MAC address that is used for several features that I'm going to talk about. For example, the multicast addresses, the IPv6 addresses will use this MAC address. Okay, now we have maximum transmission unit of 1500 bytes. We can change this, of course. The bandwidth here is 10,000 kilobit per second. Of course, it should be 100,000 if we are going to use the full feature of fast Ethernet interfaces. And we have 1,000 microsecond of delay here, and a lot of other things that are here. We can see that this is in half duplex. This is working in 10 megabit per second, and this is TX, that means twisted pair, or it is of course that's using a twisted pair cable to connect to other routers and other results that you can see here. Perhaps I'm going to find a very specific or particular item in this long result. For example, I am going to see the MAC address of the interface. I'm not going to search the whole result and find the MAC address of this interface. I want to see it in the first glance. So I need to filter out any other unwanted result. To do this, I show the interface, and then I press space once or any times you want, but I have to have a space between this and the command that I'm using. I type in a pipe. That's the backslash key on your keyboard when you press shift with it, and then press space. I want to have a space between this and the parameters that I want to have. You can now type a question mark to see what modifiers you have available here. You can see that I have begin, that begins the result from the the word that you specify. There are exclude, that means the word that you specify, and the line that has that specific word will be excluded from the result. Include is the opposite of exclude, that means the line that has the word that you include here will be shown to you. Redirect and section. A section is a very nice feature here. You do not see this in switches mostly. Section will show you the section of running configuration, for example, or result that you want to see. And these are very important things. I want to include, and I type in, and that's enough for distinguish and include from the other modifiers. So I want to know the MAC address. I know that in that line I have BIA word. So I type BIA and hit enter. And you can see that I have only the line that includes this specific and this particular word. Now, I need to know the exact word and the case of that word. For example, if I want to see the maximum transmission unit of this interface, I cannot just type in MTU. Whenever you type this, you can see that there is nothing in your result. And you should know that MTU is typed in uppercase letters. So I hit enter and you can see that MTU is now there. Although you had typed in MTU previously, you do not see the result because this is very case sensitive, and the whole iOS of course is case sensitive, and you should be aware of that. So we know that how we can find very particular messages in the command output, and now that I know this, I want to go and start configuring the interfaces of router. So to do this, I need to be interface configuration mode. I go to configuration terminal mode, that is the configuration mode of router, and now that I am in here, I can start configuring an interface. I want to know what interfaces I have, and just like I told you, you have these show commands in privilege mode. If you try to run a show command here, you can see that whenever I press question mark, I can see nothing in show command, and it says this is an unrecognized command because this command belongs to privilege mode, and you cannot run privilege mode commands in configuration mode. If I want to use privilege mode commands in configuration mode, I need to add do in front of the command, and now I can use the show command. Although I press Ctrl E to go to the end of this command and move the cursor to the end of this command, I will show you other modifiers, of course. Although whenever I use this command, it will run, but it will not show me the context sensitive help that was available in the right mode. Now if I press question mark, you can see that I am presented with the line. That means you can enter words that I don't recognize what words you are entering. So I know that show IP interface brief will tell me the interfaces that are available and the status of those interfaces. But because I'm in configuration mode and I don't want to come back to privilege mode, I have to use this do in front of my command to be able to run this command here. So I hit enter, and now I have 4 interfaces. I want to configure fast 0, 0 and fast 0, 1 because these interfaces are connected to router 2 and router 3. So I go to interface, and int is quite enough to type interface fast 0, 0, the first interface that I want to configure. I hit enter. Now I'm in interface configuration mode. Now a long list of commands are available here, but the one that I'm interested in is IP address. So I type IP address, and I want to show you how you can configure IP addresses using auto configuration. That means using DHCP and manually. Mostly I'm going to do this manually during my lessons, but I want to show you how you can do this using DHCP, of course. So I will do this, of course, in later sections where I'm talking about different services, for example, DNS and DHCP in these labs. But right now I'm going to configure it manually. So if I type a question mark, this will tell me that you can use a pool. That means a local pool. You can use DHCP. I'm going to use this in later sections. And you can add an IP address manually here. So I add an address from class A, 10, 0, and because I want to show that this is the subnet between router 1 and 2, I will type in 12 and as my subnet ID, and lastly this is router 1, so I use 1 as my IP address. This is the convention that I'm going to use during my lessons. Okay, now I'm going to make it a 24-bit mask address, so I type in 255 255.0 and hit enter. Now the IP address is assigned. Now I want to bring this interface type. I want to unshut this. So I type a no command here. No will negate any command that you type in after that. So if I want to shut down an interface, I will type shut down. And if I want to unshut that interface, I will type no shutdown. Whatever command that you start with no, that will act exactly the opposite. So I type in no shutdown, and after a second you should see a log message that tells you that this interface is now in off state. And this tells that line protocol is up. That means the layer 2 is up. So if I type do show interface fast 0 and hit enter, you can see that now I have physical layer up. The fast ethernet 0 is up. That means the physical layer is up. And line protocol is up. That means the layer 2 is up. And this is working right now. So the interface is up. Let's see the whole interfaces. Do show IP interface brief will tell me every interface in it will show me the the whole interfaces of my routers. You can see that this is okay, the physical is okay. You can see that I have assigned the IP address manually. This is the method that I have assigned my IP address, and now the status of layer 1 and layer 2 is up and up. Okay. Now I go to router 2. I want to save this configuration first before going to router 2. So I type in end or exit. Whatever you do will take you back to privilege mode. I type in end and type WR as an old-fashioned to write memory, or copy running config to startup config. I will show you this command later on. I'm an old-fashioned, Cisco guy, so I type in WR, that's write memory. So I hit enter, and after a second, the configuration is saved to your NVRAM. And to save it to your, files, you have to go to GNS3 and hit Control S to save everything. So to make sure that everything is written to your files.